All right, so here we are today. A very good afternoon to all my panelists and the viewers and the audience. Today, the session is all about the youth empowerment, the a brighter tomorrow, an hour with a passionate global leaders on the youth development, youth empowerment in India as well as Asia. We will talk about hope for the future, the financial intelligence and money matters, the mentoring and guidance for success. So let's start and please be with us for an hour's time and let's see how we can help and nurture the youth for a better tomorrow. So here I introduce Dr. Aziza, HC Aziza Jalaluddin. She is the founder of Go Global Business School Singapore. So I would like to welcome Dr. Aziza on the channel. This session is live on Go Global Business channel as well as on our Facebook page. So you can watch us live and let's hear out from Dr. Aziza what made her, start what made her taking this initiative of helping the youth, of making the society better. So I would request Dr. Aziza to say a few words about today's event and this initiative. Over to you, Dr. Aziza.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Rabia. It's wonderful that we're all on this session. Welcome, everybody. And it's so exciting that we are having this panel discussion. It's such a meaningful moment because we are coming to an end of the year, starting. We talk about starting it right now, right? The topic is a brighter tomorrow, starting today, which is what we are all about. Brightness of the future is what we are all gearing towards. And why youth is always the question. When we put up the post, Ms. Rabia, it was all about how big the youth population is, especially in India, which is one of the largest. In fact, it's the largest youth population in the world, more than 200 over million youths. And at the same time, youths are people, we always know there's a cliche, they are our next, the next generation, the next leaders of the world. What's most exciting is how much of next level of globalization conversation is being held in the realm of education and transformational work to empower the youth in various areas. So this one that we are doing, and I'm so happy that Ms. Rabia, you're able to moderate it, and the amazing panelists that are put together in this session, they all showed up in the most magnificent way, as we always say, divinely guided. So today's session is not another academic discussion. It's not another conversation on where they should go for their career guidance. No, none of that. That we have many other specialists in the house, in other platforms. Here, we're going to talk in depth about what is an aspiration for youths as we define it, less than 30 years, 30s, till the 30s, people are struggling with what's in store for them and how this is impacting them in their financial clarity, and also in terms of what kind of guidance can be made available for them to stay on track for a bigger life. So this is where we are, and I'm so happy that we are putting this together. I want to thank my business partner, Mr. Ayupa Das, the founder also for Go Global Business School, for always thinking of the youth. Whenever he talks about it, his heart just opens up whenever we talk about youth empowerment and everything. So he's been there with us for all this journey. And of course, Global Sparks, our partner, Ms. Dr. Serge, who has enabled this Go Global channel for everybody to be available to view this. So take it away, Ms. Rabia, and let's make this an amazing session for everybody.
Awesome, Dr. Aziza. So I would like to welcome our all leaders on this platform. A very good afternoon, namaste, sat sri akal, good evening, good morning, wherever we are today. So our first speaker, she's a global leader, she's a speaker, she's a mindset coach who does mindset coaching, enabling individuals and professionals to break through their limitations. Since 2012, she gave burn conducting life skills and soft skills training in local, primary and secondary schools. For past 2 years, she is enabling mindset transformations for professionals, adults to create a limitless and unstoppable life. So here I welcome our first speaker, Ms. Rihanna. All right. So, hi, Miss Rihanna. How are you today?
I'm great, and I really want to thank Go Global and Dr. Aziza for having me here and inviting me to this platform to speak about something that I'm really passionate about, which is youth and children. So, thank you so
Okay.
much for having me on board. Yes.
Awesome, awesome, Ms. Rihanna. So huge. We are happy that you are here with us to discuss about the most important topic, which is called youth empowerment. They are the future of the nation. They are the leaders of the future. So I think we need to support them so that they can take charge of their life. Now, as we all know, that youth empowerment is a process where children and young people are encouraged to take charge of their lives. And they do this by addressing their situation and then take action in their situation to improve their access to resources. So, having said that, I have a question for you. The first
Sure.
question for you is, are there ever times when limiting young people's choices or removing their choices actually empowers them? So, what do you have to say about it?
Actually, nowadays the youths are quite well informed and they have access to lots of media and lots of information. So maybe in our generation or when I was growing up, the parents can actually dictate what they want us to be exposed to. But right now, it's not the case for the youths and the children. Right now, they are exposed to so much media out there that they have so much information that we cannot shield them from what we want them to know or not know, so called. So our role right now as parents or educators or teachers or mentors is to actually help them to make those choices. So we cannot restrict their choices right now. It is not possible at all in this day and age. Definitely we need, what we can do is can only guide them to making good choices, and we can give them the right information, because a lot of them have access to information, but it may not be the right information, it may not be from the right person as well. So by giving them opening up, we also can open up the discussion for them so that they are aware that what are the wrong information that they are getting. We can correct them and advise them what would be the right information that they can have access to and they should be having access to. So this is our role as parents or educators right now.
Wonderful. Absolutely right, Ms. Rahana, that we need to support them, we need to guide them as mentors, as their guide, and not keep interfering in their lives, that how they have to work, how they have to study. So that is something we are just interfering there. Very well said, Ms. Rahana. And I think, Ms. Rahana, I have another question, a small question for you. I would like to talk about, I think that you are running something called Hope as a program. So why
Yes.
don't you share something about that program with all of us today?
Okay. I do not know whether I do have a PowerPoint. Would you be able to show it? If not, I will just run through it.
I think you can access it. You can just share your screen. There's an option called share screen just below this your screen. But if you see,
No, I'm not, because I'm not using a laptop. I do not know if you can share
okay,
it.
alrighty. Let me just try doing that. In that case, bear with me. Have you shared that to PPT? Okay, I think yes, you have shared it with me. I have to take it to my mail because I am working on laptop and the PPT is on my phone. So it will take
Right.
1 minute. Till the time I just start and share the screen. Why don't you just brief us about the program and in the
Okay.
meantime I'll just.
Okay. So this project Hope is something I'm really passionate about, and I've been working on it for a couple of years, and I finally got it down. So this project Hope is a complete makeover program, I would call, for the youths. And this was designed to entail four components, which is the mindset, heart set, skill set, and future set. So these four areas are covered in the program, and they include mindset transformation, how to think in the right way, optimism, and all that. So each letter of the Project Hope HOPE. H is for habits. We need to impart to them good habits, the kind of habits, financial habits, goal setting habits, time management habits, conflict management habits, overcoming procrastination, those kinds of skills we need to, social etiquette, public speaking. Those are the skills that we need to equip them to be able to meet the challenges of the future. So those are the habits, H of habits. The second one is O. O is optimism and opportunities. So we want to create the right mindset for them so that they are optimistic. They are able to take opportunities and they are able to open up their hearts and their mind to be able to explore new possibilities, create new uh, possibilities in their life and in the lives as adults moving forward in their life. So this is something O for optimism and opportunities. P stands for purpose. So we help in this program. You will be able, the student will be able to find their vision, their mission, and their values. So there'll be exercises in that part of the program where they will be able to find their purpose, find their drive, what really is it that they want to do. And then the final one, the E, is called empowerment, where they can set and design a future that they are positively powerful, empowered about, that gives them the empowerment to be able to succeed, to be able to create positive change. But we don't want them to be just leaders uh, of dictators, but we want them to be leaders who have empathy and who empower others as well. So the whole project Hope, H for habits, O for optimism, opportunity, P for finding the purpose, and E for empowerment with empathy. So that is the whole gist of Project Hope. So with this project, I'm hoping to develop a youth. My tagline for this is a better youth today for a better you tomorrow. So this is what I really believe in, that if we can develop youths of caliber, that they can go out into the world as adults and create positive change, create great, magnificent, beautiful, make a difference in the life of themselves, their families, their society, and the world in general. So this is a real importance, I find. It's really, really important that we empower the youths at this stage in their life so that they can be directed in the way that is fulfilling for them and that creates a beautiful society, good leaders for the future, because we really need good leaders in the future to uh, to create beautiful magic, miracles, magnificent, beautiful things in this world, to create good change. And that is what the whole Project Hope is all about. Yeah.
That was amazing, Miss Rehana. I mean, the Hope Project, wow, beautifully set, beautifully written, beautifully made. What a beautiful views and thoughts you have for the youth. Amazing. I mean, I am totally impressed with it. I'm sure the audience would have gained a lot of knowledge and a lot of benefit out of it. So, as you shared your project about hope, I have a second question for you, and that
Sure.
goes: what control does a parent have over their children? Can they even be able to in today's world? So, your views on control, or if control is in an illusion, what do you have to say about it?
Okay, control is what parents need to have so that they have control. I would say that, because we want to have control over our children. All parents want to do, because we feel that we are doing the right thing for them. We are directing them in the right way, that we can guide them. Okay, but we forget youths are also individuals, and youths are also a person with identity, with their own feelings, with their own perception of things. And basically, they are also young adults. Would we go and control an adult? Would we tell a adult what? We can give our opinions to them, but I don't think any adult would take it kindly if another adult came and told them what to do, how to do something, and force them to do something. They wouldn't. So same way, we should treat our youths in the same way as adults. Only when we can treat them as adults, we are empowering them. Otherwise, we are taking away their power of being a young adult. And how are they ever going to make decisions? How are they ever going to make mistakes and learn how to cope with the strategies if we do not give them a chance to make those mistakes? But having said that, making mistakes, we can guide them so that the mistakes are not detrimental to them, right? Like taking drugs or something, of course we have to give them the we got to advise them and tell them that, taking this, these are the consequences. But if despite telling them and they still want to experiment with it, we I mean, they can always do it in secret, you know but having said that, we really can give them control, but we cannot control them. This is how I feel. I have a 17-year-old son. Okay, for years we are always on loggerhead. Only in the last 2 years, and I think with COVID it helped a lot to connect with him because he was around me a lot of time. So before that we used to always not have discussions, but now we do, because I understand him better and he understands me better. And I think that is true empowerment. To be able to, not controlling is the empowerment. I mean, to be in control, to be in control of ourselves. That is what is important, not of controlling someone.
Obviously, amazing thought, Ms. Rahana. I would like to share here something I was reading today morning, because I'm also mother of two, youngsters, teenage, not only teenagers, they're young kids actually now. And most of the parents, what we as parents do, uh, control when they try to control. Why they try to control? Because they want their child to live their dreams actually. So
Correct. Exactly.
exactly. So I have an advice, because I'm also a mentor and I'm a career counselor. So I have a suggestion. I just read out the quote: let's not fulfill our dreams through our children. Let them dream. Allow them to chase their dream, as their dreams might be larger than ours. So
Correct.
that is where, rather than controlling your kids, be a guide, be a mentor to your kid, so that
Correct.
they can be a leaders for tomorrow, and they can support the society.
Correct.
So thank you so
Exactly.
much, Ms. Rehana. It was an amazing, information, the insightful explanation, the details, what you have to say, what you think, how we can help the youth and the whole project. I would like to wish you all the very best for your whole project, so that whatever you have in your mind, and it should be successful. So thank you so much. We'll come back to you. And now I have our, another global leader, another global speaker with us today. And he is none other than Dr. Omar Fisher, an expert presenter, the financial inclusion at IW Technologies. He is advancing with financial intelligence for youth, and with his companies. He has worked as a completed advisory assignments for 20 months, assisting CEO of ICT private sector. He has led innovation teams for Islamic guarantees, insurance revitalization, SME bank proposals, blockchain, and digitalization of assets exploration. He is the founder of ICD FinLit initiative that piloted FinLit webinars to Saudi youth October 2020 and hackathon. His prior engagement with Telco and Sol, a seasoned group with extensive network in Mid East, GCC and Africa. His focus is energy efficiency, finance, affordable housing with off-grid solar power packs, renewable energies. So here I would like to welcome Dr. Omar with us today. Hi, Dr. Omar. How are we doing today?
Excellent, excellent. I'm with
Awesome.
you from Dubai, and I would like to also thank the organizers, especially Dr. Aziza, for coming up with this inspirational event. And I'm eager to participate as part of this very esteemed panel.
Awesome, sir. Thank you so much for being with us today. So, Dr. Romar, why don't you share something related to the financial intelligence and money matters when it comes to youth? And then I'll throw a question quick to you.
Sure. Allow me to share my screen and
Sure,
please confirm when you can see it. Is that visible?
very much visible.
Fine. So, a warm welcome to all of the young people in India, in Singapore, perhaps in the Middle East, wherever you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And we're going to spend a few minutes together to talk about something which I'm quite sure you already believe you know something about, which is money. So raise your hands if you love money. My hand goes up, by the way. Now, what we want to do together for a few minutes is to explore, well, gee whiz, I already know something about money. After all, I have it in my pocket, I have it in my bank, and I'm spending it every day. So why learn about money? Well, indeed, money is everywhere. And money can be used for a number of functions. We'll touch on those in just a minute. The most important of which is not just spending, but also saving, donating, and of course, investing. Money is often taken for granted, and we quickly get accustomed to feeling the power that comes from having the money to spend. So if you already can do that, you know how to take from your wallet, you know how to take from your phone and digital money, and why bother to be educated? Well, here are some answers for you to gain control over your finances. The last speaker talked to us about control, and not control over people, let's say, but control over the whole idea of the financial web, which touches on all aspects from groceries to education to transportation. You can't get on the bus without money, etc. So, a good reason is to learn about the terminology, about the instruments, about how to use money effectively in order to gain more control over how your relationship goes with money. Part of that also reduces uncertainty, and naturally, the obverse, it increases security. It will give you major inputs to design plans for saving and investing wisely. And this is the purpose of this part of the panel, is to encourage all of you youth out there to think about the brighter tomorrow and to begin to lay the plans about your big dreams in a manner that will certainly, from time to time at least, require money. And that will only come from savings and eventually from investing those savings. Now, it's also helpful to manage the income, whether it be your scholarship money, whether it be an allowance from your parents or an odd job, and to balance between your money and your recurring expenses. Often, this is, of course, called a budget. And it allows this education to understand the calculation of the monthly cash flow, which is also called disposable income. And we'll touch on that further in just a moment. Because cash flow is one of the most important measurement tools for gauging your financial success. But first, let's be clear on the 8 money functions. We all know about income, we know about spending. Maybe some of us are able to save from savings, which is the accumulation of money to be set aside either for deferred spending in future or hopefully, number 4, to invest it. And we invest it in order to purchase large things, to maybe pay for higher education, or perhaps to start a business. Indeed, it's also important that money can be used to donate, to help uplift others, and to give ourselves a sense of fulfillment that we are helping others. We spoke about budgeting as a way to organize the income and expenses. Money, of course, can help us to fulfill our wishes and our goals. And lastly, money can be used to reward us when we have an achievement. Now, here's a quick picture for you of personal cash flow. The circles on the left, where expenses, the red, is larger than the income, that's a negative cash flow, meaning you have less money coming in than you're spending. And of course, that relationship with your money is not sustainable and often gets young people and even adults, of course, into trouble because it creates debts in order to meet all those expenses. On the right side, you can see that the green large circle of income is greater than the red circle of expenses, and that's called a positive cash flow. And clearly between the two, we should be mindful of and seeking to have a relationship with our personal cash flow that creates a positive arrangement. So the basic equation to come to what we call net cash flow is take your earnings, your income, subtract, usually on a monthly basis, your expenses, and that will give you either a positive or a negative result. So here are some tips for all of you young people out there, and we hope you'll hear these and take them to heart. Perhaps ask your parents, ask your rich uncle, ask a mentor, someone close to you, so that you can go deeper into this important subject of money. Even if you believe you don't have much money now, today, inshallah, it'll be coming to you. And it's better to experiment and to learn about money when your money is small, so that you'll be very confident in your financial decisions when the money becomes larger. So the first tip is don't wing it, meaning just guess, because in many areas, including in finance, knowing, being certain of what you're doing about the money is far better than guessing. Start at an early age, which is where you are today as our audience, and start to save that money, because some money is better than having no money at all. Determine your monthly cash flow, your net cash flow, and strive to make that positive. That will increase savings and eventually give you resources to start investing. And lastly, all of us here in this webinar encourage you to think big, because big goals and big dreams are really the only ones that are worthwhile. Small goals, incremental, that you know you can achieve, it doesn't drive the passion in the same way that a big goal does. And then prepare financial plans to go about achieving those. We want to thank you for listening. If you'd like to hear more, cleanwealth.me can take you there. So I'll stop sharing and come back to our moderator, Ms. Rabia, and I'm happy to take any questions. I hope that was clear and inspirational.
Absolutely, Dr. Omar. That was very inspirational and quite informative for the youth, how to save money, how to spend money, where to spend money, and how to invest. I mean, this piece was so inspirational and informative for the youth. I think not only for the youth as students, but for their parents as well, for their mentors, for their school principals, for their educators, so that they can guide them in the right direction. That was amazing, Dr. Omar. Thank you so much for this piece of information. And yes, I have questions for you, but I will get back to you for those questions, because that is, we have a complete agenda. But before I call our next speaker, I would like to share with all of you that this event is a part of the collaboration between Go Global Business School Singapore and Global Sparks USA. And it is live on Go Global Channel and our Facebook page as well. So please don't miss it out. It has a lot of information for the parents, for the educators, for the youth. This is a very beautiful session, and I would recommend all the parents, all the students, all the teachers, all the educators worldwide to please watch out. And now I have a amazing another panelist speaker. She is working as a placement officer, Faculty of Management at Alkesh Dinesh Modi Institute of Financial and Management Studies, University of Mumbai, since 2008. A total of 12 years of tenure in the department, she has convened many prestigious corporate seminars, workshops, events, and created a space of institutes in the corporate world for enhancing institutes' visibility and students' employability. She convened many student centric and industry related activities year wise, like series mock interview sessions, roundtable conferences, corporate seminars, workshops, Alkesh Dinesh Modi Memorial Lecture, first job fair with Times of India, first international alumni webinar, first global mentorship program, and etc. 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 The list is long. She has also collaborated with many reputed professionals and social bodies like MTHR Global, SHRM, PMA, Youth for Jobs, Karsh Foundation, and organized relevant national and international webinars, conferences, and seminars. She has also published many articles and research papers in leading newspapers, magazines, national and international level, and a multi awardee for her research work. She is passionate about building and developing a strong connection with the corporate, enhancing her understanding of any subject that has social relevance. She is passionate to create a difference in the lives of people in whatever capacity she can be put in. She is open to doing collaborative research, conduct workshops and guest lectures on millennials' holistical development and teaching in the areas of marketing management subject. And she is none other than Miss Kavita Mishra Pandey from India.
Thank
Alrighty,
you.
Miss Kavita.
Thank you, Rabia. It's wonderful introduction. Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us and sharing some, con- tips about the youth empowerment. How can we support our youth? So please, over to you, Miss Kavita.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Rabia. And before that, I would like to say thank you, Dr. Ajiza, for this wonderful opportunity. I am also offering my gratitude to my co-panelists, Dr. Rehana and Dr. Umar Fisher, who had spoken very well and set the tone for today's program. I'm very happy to be a part of this wonderful initiative. I think knowledge is a power, and if we give the right takeaway to our audience, then I think this is the best gift which we can be offered to bid edu year 2020 and welcoming the year 2021 with open arms. Today, my topic of interaction is mentoring and grooming from success from millennial perspective. So here it is. There is a very famous Sanskrit slok which I read it as Yah patati likhati pashyati panditan upashrati tasya divakar kirine nalini dalam iva vistarita buddhi. It means one who reads, writes, sees, inquires, lives in the company of learned, his intellect expands as the lotus petals expands due to the rays of the sun. In my today's talk, I shall try upon what is mentoring, it mentoring important, how mentors perform, and what should a mentee do to get best out of mentor-mentee relationship for their grooming. So first, I would like to give the audience to a question that is mentoring a new concept, whether mentoring is something which has come into the picture now or is it available earlier also. So, as we know that the concept of mentoring is not new in India and other global realm, we have had seen that how great leaders, in especially from Indian perspective, like Alexander the Great, Chandragupta Maurya, Arjun the Great Warrior, Maharana Pratap, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Shivaji Maharaj, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, and many more, who has become a great in their chosen path, not only influence the mind of people their own, but there was somebody or someone in their life who had influenced their mind in such a way because of which they had created lots of differences in the society and in the world or in the country where they lived upon. That one person was none other than their mentor. In fact, even for the successful business venture and many other sectors, many corporates, many mentees from corporates and industries have mentioned the name of their mentors and owe the credit to their success to their mentors. Name to be mentioned of like Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah Winfrey, Richard Branson, Indra Nui, Sheryl Sandberg, Bill Gates, and many more. So, with this example, this hypothesis proof that mentoring is very important and it is available since ages. And many mentees have got the benefit because of them to prove themselves in the life and doing best over there. Most of the times we get confused that who how to differentiate that who is a mentor, teacher, trainer, coach, counselor, etc. So I will let me put this before all of you one by one. So according to Polo Nepotlitano, senior consultant at LLA Network, teaching focuses on making an individual learn the basic concepts and key points to perform a certain process. It may be based on rote level of teaching, reflective level of teaching, or understanding level of teaching. According to Micah Ray, a trainer can be thought of as a teacher for the corporate world and academia who basically focuses that the attendee should learn a particular skill or concept. Then, who is a coach? The coach role is to help the practitioner adjust his or her performance based on the situation that he or she is experiencing and improve his or her efficiency. But the role of mentor is wider. Counselor is also touch upon your attitudinal change and mindset. But mentor is the one who goes beyond the boundaries and makes sure that the mentee and who is performing under a mentor to excel in his performance, do well in their performance. So basically, if you see, the mentor is the one who create a broader picture of your life for doing best in your field. That is a very short description about the mentor. But finally, the role of mentor is nothing but is to just focus on mentee. Mentor wants all the time that the mentee should perform, excel, and do best in the role which she or he chosen upon it. So, but most important thing, if you want to get a good mentor, a millennial should also understand to be a good mentee, because all the time we all want a good mentor to be around, but equally it is also very important that you have to be a good mentee as well. How to be a good mentee? So for that I have just come across few points which I want to put before the millennials to understand and go to explore the world of mentor mentee relationship. So some points are here as follows. First, be a learner. It is very important for a mentee to be a learner before asking a mentor to teach them something. Unless I have the learning attitude, it is not possible for a mentor to give me the right set of knowledge and help me to explore my future. Second, be organized. I remember my early days when somebody was mentoring me. I mean, when I was mentoring lots of professionals. So I have a habit to keep a diary all the time. So I advise these millennials that don't depend all the time on shortcuts, smartphones, and digital technology. Start writing, use pen and paper also. Be organized. Whenever you get the golden word from your mentor, write it down in your diary, because that is going to be your treasure of throughout of your life. Third, ask questions. We all see that nowadays millennials are very inhabited to ask the questions. So it is very important to have a curious mind, because the more you ask the question, the more interaction happen, and you will get the more responses on it as well. Number four, it is okay to have differences of opinion, but avoid argument with your mentors. Very important if you want to groom yourself for a success. Number five, open for feedback and constructive criticism. Please remember, if a mentor do not critically criticize you, and do not give you the open feedback, he or she is not a good mentor for you. So, very important, to whom you have chosen to be your mentor, please ask question and feedback. Feedback helps you for your improvement and development. Number point six, show your commitment and consistency. I have seen, basically, I am into campus placements. So my audience with whom I work is between the age group of 21 to 25. So most of the times that we have to go and pursue the millennials and ask them, what are you doing and how you are doing. But when you talk about the mentor-mentee relationship, it should be other way around. Mentee should go and ask lots of questions. They have to be consistent and regular in their approach, and make sure that they are getting the best out of mentor to success in their life. And my last point of advice is, show gratitude and no, and never forget to say thank you. This is something which is very important if you want to be happy, especially in your life. Giving thanks may not be formally required in a mentoring program. However, it is always welcomed. Mentors are sharing their time, energy, investing lots of things with you. So it's always very important to say thank you, express your gratitude to your mentor, which definitely impact your relationship with your mentor. So finally, what I conclude here, that it is important for building a relationship between mentor mentee, which gives an edge for an individual to develop their personality and focused mind. Every mentor is once upon a time is mentee, and every mentee in future aspires to be a mentor. If not aspire, but get into a shoes of mentor. But what matters the most is to connect to the humanity and giving back to your society with your work. At the end of the day, grooming is nothing but it is all about your self development, not only for your own self development, but the country, society, and nation where you are also serving to. So, this is all from my side. Thank you once again. Over to you, Miss Rabia.
All right. So that was amazing, Miss Kavita. I mean, just so beautifully expressed the relationship between mentor and mentee. The way you have explained the responsibilities of a mentor and the responsibilities of a mentee. Because at the end of the day, we all are mentees and we all get inspired by one person or the other, and they are like our mentors only. So I think it's a mixture, it's a collaboration of mentor and mentee that we are going ahead in the future as we learn from each other. So at the end of the day, I'm the mentee, you are a mentor. At the end of the day, I am somebody's mentor and somebody's my mentee. So this is how the relationship and bonding goes ahead. And yes, the pandemic has actually taught us that it is so important to be a mentee, because of the fact that without collaborative learning, we cannot grow in the near future. And the last part, Miss Kavita, it really touched me because I totally believe in the same, the gratitude, the power of gratitude, the attitude of gratitude. Yes, it
Same to
totally
me as
changes.
well. I also
Absolutely.
believe in that.
Yes, so it actually changes your life. Be it a mentor or be it a mentee, be it a student, be it a parent. It completely changes your life, completely. And you feel so happy internally that you are able to spread happiness. So that was really wonderful. And now I would like to request all our panelist speakers today to be on the screen with us because I am going to ask few questions to Dr. Omar and Miss Kavita, and I would also request Miss Rehana to add on the points towards it. So the first question, over to you, Dr. Omar. You wanted me to ask certain question. Yes, there is a question for you now. So the question is, power. What responsibilities does a school administrator have for their students? So what do you have to say about it, Dr. Omar?
The instructor of schools, their responsibility toward the students? Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you for the question. I would say that financial literacy education is a critical component of what we can say basic life skills. Now, there are two parts here, and I'll be brief. Is that regrettably, if you examine the data, financial literacy in USA and in UK and Europe is today failing. So it's an old school approach to money and finance, whereas the world is moving at a record pace forward into cashless society, AI, for example, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, tokens. All of this is exploding technology for which our youth are learning about it in the street, but not in the school. So that's one challenge that we have to the school, that they need to be open to change, maybe even toss out the old textbooks and look at what's needed today for the next 20 or 30 years of the lives of these young people. The second thing I would say is that in the Middle East, where I've lived a number of years, and to some extent in Asia as well, financial literacy is not taught in schools. So it is not a subject. It might be an elective, or it might be something perhaps after school, or even something that through my company I'm cultivating here in this region, what I call a money club. And by the way, we have a template for anyone that's interested, or any school that's interested. We'll be glad to work with them to suggest ways and means that young people can participate actively in money projects as a way to learn about the realities of spending and donating and budgeting that we discussed earlier. So that would be my brief answer about the importance of financial literacy, some of the challenges that we see in certain regions of the world. And money is not going away, it's changing. You won't be able to see it anymore. And that alone is bringing some amazing challenges, which I think our schools, as well as the parents, are the right places for this kind of information. And the other panelists have made a very strong point about how the guidance to our young people needs to be the correct guidance, and therefore parents and the schools themselves need to go back to the classroom, if I could put it that way, and improve their understanding so that financial inclusion can actually be part of our future as we start the third decade of the 21st century.
Wow, amazing, Dr. Omar. That was really, really amazing. Yes, financial literacy is something which is missing in our schools, and it has to be a part of our co-curriculum activity, not the extracurricular, but a co-curricular. It's very important for the students, for the youth to learn how to invest, where to invest, how to budget, and how to save money. Because I think that this generation doesn't know how to save money. Rest, they know everything about what to do with the money and things actually. So very rightly said. Thank you so much for such a beautiful information. And over to Miss Kavita again. All right, Miss Kavita. As you're a mindset coach, so I think the question should go to you. Is there a point where limiting or increasing the abilities of young people to access unhealthy or disempowering things actually becomes empowering? What do you have to say about this?
Uh, what I believe, see, basically, I don't like such negative words where we talk about limitations or taking youth back. Such words is basically create a restriction. So I'm associated with couple of NGOs. I'm not taking their names because I have not taken their permission. But you may see that lots of good NGOs in India are doing multiple good works. And while writing one case study to one NGO, they are working a lot about empowering youth. So they are doing lots of activities in cleaning Mumbai, making environment very friendly, creating lots of development in Indian society only through the help of youth. So there is another NGO where I have joined as a joint director of their environment, Kash Foundation, which is Mumbai based. So this NGO is working into education, environment, health, and heritage. So if you see, there lots of activities are only related with empowering youth. I have heard somewhere in the group itself that if you really want to empower youth, the one thing which you help them to go, let them go out of their barriers. Because once you say that, okay, this is your limitation, you start controlling. I think Rihanna ma'am spoken about it. Once you start controlling, putting the limitation, my creativity went. I am not able to see anything. And the madness of creativity will come when you open my chain and you ask me to go out of it, Rabia ma'am. So please don't restrict or give any limitation even to my 5 years old child also. We are talking about millennials.
Completely agree, Ms. Kavita. That was again a quite informative thing that we should not put any restrictions or limitations on our kids, on our children actually. Because otherwise the things will become more worse. And yes, what we want, what we are looking forward towards the future of the nation, that will be completely vice versa. Thank you so much. And over to Ms. Rehana. The question is for you again. How can we support youth to be potential positive creators within the food activities, schools, family, culture, society, cycle, who could fashion, distribute, barter, or co create the things they partake in daily right now? Ms. Rohana, are you on mute? We can't hear you.
Sorry. Hi. So I strongly believe in partnerships, and I believe it takes a whole community to develop a child or a youth. And I really believe that the partnership is between the schools, the education system, the parents, and the child or the youth themselves. So this is really something uh, which is also lacking in most areas of schooling, where parents sometimes think it is the educator's job or the school's job to raise their children or to impart values or things about to them. Because nowadays, as we know, in our generation, both parents are working. We usually leave our kids to the helper or to a caregiver, and we do not know what are the values that the children are being imparted. What values are being imparted to the children? And this is something that is very, very important um, in creating a youth of caliber. And this is what we want in the world, because if we do not create a youth of caliber, what we are going to have is a leader of less caliber. That is what we are seeing around the world nowadays. You know, if you want a good leader, you must create a good leader. And how do you create? By giving a good environment. And as I said, partnership is very important for anything. And it has to be collaborative. The child, the parent, the caregiver. And we cannot say the parents, are hands off to this, because this is very, very important that they have to be in collaboration with the schools and everywhere else. Even though we impart our values, but these values have to be nurtured. We cannot just tell them these are the good values. You need to be honest. You need to be have integrity. You need to not cheat. We can't just tell them and expect them to understand and follow through with that. We need to create an environment where they can exercise these choices. And when they are able to exercise these choices and they are able to exercise their decision making, they are able to improve and become better at who they are and discover their own true potential. That is what we need to create. And you said about creativity, how to encourage. If we can provide this environment, all these are will become part of the ecosystem to develop a human with amazing capacity. We do not need superheroes because we are the superhero. The kids are the superhero. We empower them to become superheroes of their life. Doesn't mean they need to fly or jump off buildings, but they need to be empowered to understand that they have superpowers to contribute to become part of society. And that is what it is. They need to be valued. If they do not find that they have a purpose or a value in their life, they will actually fall back and say, what is my meaning? So what? I'm using my parents money. So what? I don't need financial education. I don't need moral education. I don't need this education. I don't need that. I can develop myself. I'm happy the way I am. But we need to create that nurturing environment, the guidance, where they are able to make mistakes, but yet they are guided. Even though they can make mistakes, we don't want them to fall until they fall so low that they cannot get out. But we provide them the support system, and that is very, very necessary in this day and age. I really believe that.
Wow, just wow. Awesome, Ms. Rahana. That was too good. Amazingly said. That yes, our kids are already born stars. We just have to guide them and support them so that they can come out of their, eggshell, they can come out of their comfort zone and understand their own power, understand their own talents. So, very rightly said, Ms. Rahana. And now I would request Dr. Aziza to be with us on the platform because I have a question for her today. Because this initiative, this event is actually her creativity. So, Dr. Aziza, the question for you is: are youths the inevitable future inheritors of a democratic society, actively fueled by active citizen awareness building and mobilization? So, what do you have to say about this?
Wow, this is like a debate, right? You give a point and then you are supposed to speak about it. I didn't know I was part of this whole game. But first of all,
Oh,
thank you so much. It
I
is
told
wonderful.
Dr. Aziza Dr. Omar that I'm a very amazing moderator and I would not spare anyone today on the panel. So everybody has to answer.
Surely, when I saw everything that's happening and the topic of youth, the only thing that runs in my mind is all of us have an experience of being a youth. Right? We all have been there and done that. And I just have to, recognize, and many of us have children who are youth already. And of course, Miss Kavita has got very small kids. I know the rest of us are having teenagers and adults and people who are working already. So for me, as to become a responsible citizen, to become a part of a ecosystem that is global, and that's the conversation we are having. It is no more just about the nation, like my country conversation anymore. Every individual that's going out into the world, they need to know how to be a global citizen. And the global responsibility comes with it. And that's where we see the next level of growth that's needed in the mind, the heart, the will of these amazing people that we need to groom and take to the next level. So it's a collective responsibility that we are sitting on, because as much as we say that it's about me, that I have to do it, or it's about the parents, how the struggle is: the student, the parents, and the teachers. We can go on and on with this conversation. At the same time, it's a collective responsibility, and right now, we all stand together, because it's not just about the academic, but we in Go Global Business School has always been, in all our journey, about the mindset or the transformation of the belief systems that hold us hostage to what's moving forward. And when we look at it in terms of the way that the youth have been evolving. I just had a conversation with my son in the morning. At the age of 10 years old, he was in the Accelerated Business School, the world's longest running business school environment. And he was sitting into the meetings that I was having with my mentor and how we are bringing the work to India and all of that. He was in the meeting. And one of the picture, when I was watching it, was taken with one of my mentors who is owning the third largest chain of office supply business, a $400 million business. So imagine the kind of exposure unconsciously he's been exposed to from the age of 10. Did I get it? No way. Very seldom do people get this kind of exposure, and we see that they are growing and evolving at a whole different level in life right now, and they are definitely smarter than us, these youths, and they are much, sometimes too smart for their own good. There's a time we all have to laugh about it, but really what we need to do is take empathy and being put into such an accelerated mode of the world, the way this world is going. And what Mr. Dr. Omar was sharing, the financial intelligence conversation is so lacking in the world right now. And that is the one that kind of makes or breaks people's life, because it is the one of the strongest emotional conversations that people can have, and that's not taught in school. So this is the moment that we all, coming together, understanding that the empowerment is inside out, and there's very tangible and intangible conversations that we can engage people with to move forward. So yes, youth are global citizens, and we are all for global citizenship, and we are all right now from different time zones sitting together. That's the beauty of this whole platform that we have created. So thank you once again, amazing panelists, and very thoughtful conversations we had in the last 1 hour.
Yes, and I just want to end this session with one thing for the parents, for the educators, for the school principals, or for any kind of mentors we are. It is our responsibility to give the right kind of exposure to the youth, to the kids, to the future of the nation, to the young leaders of the future. Otherwise, we are not doing the right kind of mentorship. The mindsets have to be changed. We need to make financial literacy, the proper mentorship programs as a part of our co-curriculum activities in the schools. At the same point of time, as parents, we need to be their guide. We need to be supportive to our kids so that they can choose the right path, they can follow their dreams, and they can fulfill their dreams. So I am sure this session was a very amazing and interesting session. It was a very quite informative session for the entire, all the viewers, all the leaders, whether it was a corporate leader or a school leader or the student or the youth or the teenager or a parent. So stay tuned with us. We will be coming up with few more interesting sessions soon. Till then, namaskar, sat sri akal, good morning, good day, have a great weekend, and wish you a very, very happy new year so that we can be there in the future together and learn a lot from each other. Thank you once again, and thank you to all my panelists to be with us for today's session on this platform. Have a great day ahead. Thank you, Dr.
Okay.
Aziza.
Salam alaikum.
So, as we all are here with the global population, so I just would like to say, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Nirameya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukh Bhag Bhave. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It was a
Thank
very
you.
enlightening forum. Thank you.